Welcome to part 5 of an interview with Jennifer Jones. Hey gang, how you doing today? Wow, thank you so much for all of your fantastic questions. I have gotten the most fun questions and conversations with all of you good-looking, smart, witty readers. So what we're going to do today, again, I'll try to stay within 5 to 7 minutes of answering your questions. And this week it looks like we have a lot of writing questions, but ask me anything. So I'll jump right into the questions. First question, do you like to write alone or in public? So, this is something that might surprise some people. My probably favorite place to write, hands down, is on an airplane, which means that I should probably take a lot more trips. But it's just awesome because when you get on an airplane, realize that some airplanes do have Wi-Fi these days, but I mean, you're pretty much just there with yourself and your laptop, and there's no distractions. And I have actually banged out quite a number of chapters and some pretty darn good word count on airplanes, but you can't fly all the time. So usually I'm sitting at my desk and I do like to write. I like to write alone. I don't have my own dedicated office. My office, such as it is, you can look around the room. You can't look around the room because I'm not showing you, is my dining room table and my headphones. That's kind of my way of shutting out the world. But yeah, it would be nice to have an office. One of these days I will have one. But if I could, hey, charter my own airplane, I would probably just stay up in the air all the time and write. Next question. How long does it take you to write a book? Well, I seem to have gotten my process down to about 6 months. And, I have to tell you, I am totally in awe of these authors and my author friends that can crank out a book a month. And I mean, I wish I could write that fast, and I am quite in awe of it. My process seems to be about 6 months, but I was listening to an interview today, a podcast, and they were talking about J.R. Tolkien, that it took J.R. Tolkien 17 years to write The Lord of the Rings. So I suppose if I'm 6 months, that's pretty fast. But I have so many wonderful stories that I want to share with you guys, and so many ideas and just notes and scads of idea files, and I wish I could write faster, but my process seems to be about 6 months. Next question. This is fun. Have you ever destroyed any of your drafts? I may have felt like destroying some of my drafts because I think every writer reaches a point in the writing process where they are just absolutely convinced that this is not bad. This is the worst book anyone has ever written, ever. I need to hit the delete key. I need to trash it. I need to put it in the fireplace. I need to get rid of this so that nobody ever sees it. But I usually keep going if I get that feeling, and I actually save my first drafts. Whenever I finish a book, I go ahead and save it and write this fun little thing on there about this is my first draft. And, pretty much when I'm pushing up daisies, it'll be worth a lot of money on eBay kind of thing. So I do save my first drafts. And interestingly enough, I've never gone back and looked at them, but they are sitting on my hard drive. So I've never destroyed any. Next question. What's the last thing you watched on Netflix and why? Wow, I wish I had more time to binge watch things on Netflix because there's a lot of great stories and a lot of wonderful things. But in my spare time, I usually relax by reading books because I love to read novels. I don't know of any writer that doesn't love to read. I think that's how we all came to the sport, if you will, is through reading. But there's so many great stories on there, and one that I did recently binge watch was Bates Motel. And my daughter got me into that because she watched it and said, "Mom, you got to check this out." And I just kept resisting it for a long time. And finally, when we were on a family vacation, there was nothing else to do other than binge watch some Netflix, and I got caught up in that story. And I don't know if you guys have seen Bates Motel, but you know what fascinates me about that whole series is that the stories are just crazily unbelievable. If I sent a draft of some of these things that the situations that happened to the characters to my editor or my beta readers, they would immediately redline it and say, "This could never happen. This is implausible. Why didn't somebody say something about this character gunning down someone in the main street? Why didn't he get in trouble for this? Why?" But they just let it rip in that show. They have the most unbelievable situations and, kind of cliched characters, but it works. It totally works. And they also wrapped the series up very satisfyingly, which is something that as an author is very near and dear to my heart. You got to have a satisfying ending. But I really took a lot away from that experience of watching something that was, I thought, I mean, you can tell me if you think otherwise, was just outlandish. Let's see how many situations we can throw at Norma and Norman Bates and have them keep coming back for more. So I would like to write more of those kind of stories. But yes, Bates Motel. Next question. Is Jennifer Jones a pen name? And the answer to that question is yes. My first name is Jennifer. When you're changing your identity, I learned a long time ago, if you ever fake your death and you want a new identity, keep your first name. Not that I've ever changed my identity or I've faked my death, but hey, the day's not over yet. But yes, I took on the pen name because I wanted to feel like a movie star. And here's a fun story. Many people probably don't know who Jennifer Jones is, but when I was a child and I was born in the late 50s, I was the only Jennifer. I mean, it's a very popular name now, but it wasn't back then. And many adults would say to me, "Oh, your name is Jennifer, like Jennifer Jones, the actress." And I didn't know who that was, but I always envisioned and imagined this, beautiful blonde movie star with a fur coat and dark sunglasses and, somebody that was just fending off all these fans that wanted her autograph. And come to find out that she is a very famous actress that nobody's ever heard of. So when I was thinking about author names, I thought, you know what? I am going to honor Jennifer Jones, and that's who I am. I just love it. And so if you Google her, you'll find out she's not blonde, and she may not be wearing sunglasses, but hey, I can dream, can't I? So we are getting, we're overtime today. So I am going to cut this short, let you guys out. And I really look forward to more of your questions. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Ask me anything. Go back to the email, hit reply, ask me your questions. And all the links to the books are in the email. I will see you next week. And I love you. Mwah!